Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, this is going to be one of the specific messages, and that is because as I sat down to do this, I'm having to do like a reset on all the systems lately, and it still isn't really fixing the glitches that we're experiencing. But I do it every time now before I sit down, and it kind of helps a little bit. So, as I did that, though, I had this overwhelming sense of dizziness and like spinning, like I was like leaning in my own chair that came out of absolutely nowhere. And it was so weird. And it was one of those things where I was like, okay, we're doing a specific message because I got this very distinct image of somebody who was like feeling good, kind of spinning, like happy, but like, I don't know if it's, someone's had a few drinks or what. And I had the distinct impression it was a divine masculine. Now, a song came into my head absentmindedly at the same time, as I was kind of like, wow, that's a weird dizzy feeling. And it passed pretty quick, but the song is Elephants. I think it's called Step Down, but the lyrics that was going through my head is, why don't you just step down from your high? So again, I don't know if there's like jealousy surrounding a divine masculine who's actually having like this happy glow, or if it's more like a metaphor, like somebody's world is spinning, but in a good way. So we'll see how this goes. Hi, everyone. So great to see you all. All right, we have got the Eight of Swords. It is sideways. So we definitely have in this imagery, we can see that this baseball is busting through the peace and calm. And this otherwise had been like, blue skies. Somebody's been sitting here next to their chamomile. Chamomile is very known to be like soothing, relaxing, calming, but we've got something shattering the calm. But I gotta say, I kind of think it's a good thing. I don't know how this is going to go yet, but an Eight of Swords is normally someone who gets trapped. But if somebody had been trapped in like, it's not fun when there's nothing going on. But this could also be that someone's starting to actually feel like more, how do I want to say, like a surge of excitement instead of like a mellowness. Even though I'm picturing somebody whose world is spinning, this can either be that's that's the first time they felt good in a long time and it's breaking the, like the stagnancy curse, or this could be the jealous energy that comes in because somebody's like, how come that person's so mellow? How come they're doing so great? Okay, we have the Lovers. Now, I'm going to say that this is, this could be somebody who's feeling love struck. What's that song? Those flashing lights come from everywhere. I think that she knows. It's JT, right? That's got to be Justin Timberlake. And I think that she knows. I think that she knows. Yeah. I can't think of the title of the song, though. I'm so sorry. Okay, we have Temperance coming out also. It's definitely something about a lover, possibly a woman. I don't know what has just happened, but maybe this person's heart has started to spin. If you notice, we have two cards, both of which are showing us kind of a similar imagery. We have got somebody who is making like peppermint sticks with this energy coming out of this stew pot. We also have the two of them holding hands, like linking. So again, kind of like this crisscrossing of energy here. Do we have a divine masculine then who is like there's something waking up in his heart? Is that what this is about? Is he feeling like I'm on her wavelength? I'm feeling her energy. Is that why he's got the spin? To be completely honest, I have a little bit of a spin feel come back right now. This is so crazy. It must be allergies or something for me. We have the Three of Pentacles. That Three of Pentacles is here. And I always look at this because we have the ammonites, these ancient fossilized little sea creatures. They're found many places that used to have like shallow waters. So I think that like a lot of them come out of, I want to say Morocco has a really big like export of these guys. I have several ammonites. I think they're really awesome because they're such ancient creatures, but I have some of them that are fossilized as pendants and jewelry. But we have three ammonites, and I always look at that as like ancient history, but like super, super, super ancient history somehow. The fact that we have these little ants who've been grain by grain digging a hole, not through the center of the earth, but all the way out the other side so we can look into the cosmos. This is pretty awesome. The Three of Pentacles is about somebody that is feeling like, I know who I'm going to work with now. I'm wondering, are we kind of describing a divine masculine who's having like some very spiritual awakening, some very cosmic awakening, and it's like the little ants in his mind have been slowly like moving things away until he's able to like recognize, oh my God, this is a spiritual connection. It doesn't make any sense. It's across time and space and distance. It doesn't add up in any, sensible way, but there it is. It's kind of like he's realizing this could be somebody who's having this sensation that this is a past life kind of connection. Whatever this is about, I'm going to say that it's a love story, only because although the Lover's card does not have to be about love, I do think it is in this story. Sometimes it's just about choice. Now you notice that she is the moon, he is the sun. We're rocking with, I'll say divine counterparts here. We're going to talk about them like it's masculine, feminine, but just know we're only talking about energy, not genders. So it doesn't matter. But she's been doing something here. She's cooking something up. And I'm sorry, I've got, I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello. Seen your pretty ass. As soon as you walked in the door, married to the money, introduce you to my stove. She's my trap queen. Sorry. Sometimes I have to get all the way into it before I get to the title of the song, Trap Queen, just because she's cooking at the stove kind of vibe here. I don't know what this divine feminine is. She could be a Sagittarius, but she's the center somehow. There may be something that maybe he's seen an image of her, maybe it flashed in his mind. We kind of got like these rays of sunlight coming from behind her. She's, encircled by this rainbow, and then she's in front of this tree of life. To me, this looks like, like a round kind of, like this could be somebody online, like I see all of you guys in the chat as these little teeny tiny rounds. They're like barely the size of my pinky fingernail. But I see you guys as little teeny tiny round images, like your profile pictures. And that's what this is making me think of. I don't know if there's something really coincidental that is suddenly like rocking his world, like he's thinking of her and then bam, something, whatever notifications show up on his phone, his computers, whatever. And it's like, it's making his head reel. It's making his heart spin. It's making his world, like, it's kind of shaking him like, okay, this is legit. If this kind of weird alignment, something is cracking his reality, okay, in a good way, but it's making him think about her. I get this distinct vibe, and this has happened to me countless times. I cannot even tell you how many times, I'll think of somebody randomly that I haven't thought of in a long time. And then within usually it's about 3 days, they call. There is, God, I wish I could remember the book, and I can't remember the title of the book, but there is a book. It's about the Australian Aboriginal culture, and it's talking very much about within the culture, this telepathy that they just kind of casually accept. It's like, well, of course, you can always tell when you're going to see somebody, even if they're traveling huge distances across great swaths of land. It's like, oh yeah, they're on their way. They'll be here. And, it's like they feel somebody's proximity. And I've always loved that. That's why it drives me nuts that I can't think of the title of the book right now or who wrote it. But I've always loved that and always wanted to kind of delve a little bit more into that. If anybody knows what book I'm talking about, please, please, please do feed that to me also, so we can kind of share a really great book. At least I remember loving it. But I'm getting a vibe like that, like his world is being cracked open because I think there's some kind of otherworldly telepathy thing going on. And he's just seen evidence of it. He's just seen proof of it. He's just recognized she's feeling me from across the universe. She's feeling me from literally the other side of the galaxy or the other side of the country or the other side of the world. She's feeling me. And I know it. It's our energy is interwoven, intertwined. Now, she literally maybe she wears her hair in braids. Maybe she's a hairdresser. Maybe she's a chef. Maybe she's making Swiss egg bread, or maybe she's making some kind of candy. It doesn't have to be peppermint, but there's something about braiding something, wrapping something. Maybe this is jewelry making. There's something about whatever she's doing right now that might also coincide with some thought that he has right now. It's just really interesting to see this. Judgment. And I have to say, this Judgment card, there is, God, I want to say, I believe it is Renoir, but Monet kind of did some of this also. But there's some paintings by some of the French Impressionists where they specifically intentionally painted landscapes. But if you look a little closer, what you see is a naked lady in it. And they were, like likening the voluptuous, female form. And this card always makes me think of that. Okay. The Judgment card is about reconciling. It's about accepting. It's about resurrecting. It's about bringing something back to life. And for some reason, it's really standing out, divine feminine energy to me right now on this card. This is somebody who's like raising their hands up, like a hallelujah moment, or maybe we could even think of it like, somebody in football who just made a score or something. I feel like she's bringing him back to life. I don't know how. I don't know what it is about this energy that he's picking up. Is he really getting her vibe? Or is he having one of those serendipitous moments where it's like, oh my God, I'm literally thinking about her. And then, this profile picture of her shows up, or something so specific that she's doing also has something to do with him. If she's like stirring a pot of something and he's feeling dizzy, I don't know, maybe it's just like her actions, even at a great distance, somehow he gets information that she's feeling the same way, doing the same thing. And it's like, my God, how connected can I be to this person? As we say that, we literally get the Chariot card that has so much mystery and divine alignment on it, right? We've got kind of like a funky little version of Stonehenge. This is not quite what it looks like, but obviously on this card, it's representing Stonehenge of some version. And then we've got a physical, form of a human. And coming out kind of like from the gut, from the instinct, are all of these spokes of like a bicycle tire, but they're all connected to all of these planets. Now, obviously, on the 28th of February, we will be having the parade of planets. The 7 planets in the sky are going to be aligned. We've been rocking 6 of them in alignment for a while anyway, since last month. But this is pretty rare. Oh my God, if you haven't seen Venus, it's so highly visible. It has been for a while now. It's pretty impressive. But yeah, we're going to have 7. I think we only need telescopes to see 2 of them. But on the 28th, and only on the 28th, we will actually see that alignment. So maybe this is also like a tip of the hat to the fact that everything is moving forward in a timeline. Like so many steps in his life have led him to this point, and he's getting like this crazy visual of it, like a full comprehension of, wait a minute, these things have happened in my life that have brought me to this moment, that have made me cross paths with her, or her energy, I'll say. And all of this, he just kind of knows now that this had to go this way, and many things in his life have brought him to this moment, to this energy, to this awareness of this particular human being. Now, maybe he's having weird deja vu flashback moments of, wait a second, I'm thinking that maybe I've been here before, I've done this before. I don't know. I don't necessarily want to throw that into the mix, other than we did have the Ammonites, but I don't think we need to add that in necessarily, just to be aware that in this lifetime, in this timeline, he is, I can see why he'd be dizzy. We got spirals going on all over the place here. We've got the galaxy. We've got, all these planets, and everything is moving. So everything is spinning. Oh, Denisa, thank you, Angel. You are so generous. Sorry, you guys. My baby is busy. He's supposed to be napping, but instead, he's protecting. The moon. Once again, if you look, we have kind of like that moon halo around it also, which is kind of like a real phenomenon. But if we look a little closer, it's actually a rainbow as well. And we have the full moon and the crescent. Now, we're not into eclipse season yet, but that's coming not too far down the road. But we're not there yet. But I'm thinking possibly this gives us a bit of a timeline, perhaps. This says right now they're still at different times or different locations, and we see it here too, because where it's twilight for her, it's sunlight for him. Now, we could also have these two in different places in the world where this is autumn versus spring. Doesn't have to be, but this either represents the different and harmonious energies between them, or it represents where they're at. Now, we have them on two different sides of some chasm. Right now, I know it's just a river, but I'm thinking ocean. I'm thinking that these two are going to be in different halves of the world or on different sides of, I'm just going to say the Pacific right now because that's what is in my head. So I'll just spit it out. Even though I should pick a river, but I don't feel like it's a river. I feel like it's an ocean. The moon is usually about mysteries. It's there's no proof, like concrete proof, until he talks to her that she's like in his energy and so completely connected to him. But he's got that dizzying awareness that I might have to go get my baby. He's got that dizzying awareness that somehow, some way, this is all going to get aligned just right. This is all going to come into some kind of a perfect whatever, whenever, however. But I think that feeling is going to get amplified. How is this all going to come into fruition? I don't know exactly yet. I don't know if he knows. Having this weird feeling that this is the person who's right for him. Even here, we've got the, oh my God, Aries. We've got the energy of not necessarily lies on this card, but information that's there that has to be deciphered, but we can't crack the code yet. And I say that because we got hieroglyphs. And so this is the Seven of Swords, which I should say is lies, deception, running away, but it doesn't have to be. This is more like he's realizing, because both of these cards have mysteries on them, right? And really, if we go back to that Chariot, we have mysteries here as well. By the way, strong Pisces and strong Cancerian. So we have a ton of emotion in this storyline, right? We also have this breakthrough, to have that Eight of Swords in the beginning. Swords are our thoughts. The Lovers is Gemini. So again, thoughts. But he feels like she shares his mind. Scorpio, being water, is also going to be about emotions. We do have fire coming off for her with that Temperance, the Sag energy. And then we had only a little bit of earth here. But I'm feeling like we have big, big, big emotions that are, no wonder he's dizzy. It's like a surge or a swell of emotions and thoughts exploding in his mind, this sense of comprehension about the way this weird universe works and how we end up connected to somebody else's energy. But how does he either decipher how to explain this, or how does he decipher how do I eventually communicate to her? The Chariot is moving forward with a direct energy, but he's kind of in this place where he's like, nothing's direct about this. I've had to piece together the mystery, and now it's struck me that something else is making this happen. You guys are going to have to forgive me for just a second because the boy is really active right now. Aries, baby, come here. No. Such a good boy. Now you just lay down and you just rest. You did such hard work. Now you get to rest. Sorry, everybody, but it was going to go on and on. Let's be honest. And now he just hopped on his couch. He's like, oh, whew. I was exhausted, Mama. Okay, so forgive me. So sorry, you guys. So sorry. All right, so here we go. Let's get back into this component here. If he's trying to figure out how to say this, what to say about this, how is this all playing out? Part of it is it's kind of out of his hands. I don't know how to expect this whole thing to go. I haven't put it into motion. The universe has played a role in this. Is the universe going to continue to play a role in this, or do I now take over the wheel and start steering the car? I can see why he might be confused about this. It might be one of those things that we got that Four of Swords, but it did come out sideways. And we see this lightning coming in and cracking open again, the mysteries of the universe, ancient secrets. We have this mummy. Four of Swords is usually the stuff that is, we're healing from, or these things have been silent. It's also a time to go silent and listen to the universe instead. It's weird because I kind of think he's realizing there is so much more alignment at work here that I didn't make happen. So maybe I have to listen for the guidance system. I don't know if somebody's going to Egypt, but both of these cards show us this. Maybe I should have said this is the River Nile. I don't know. But we had Stonehenge over here. So we're, in England or the UK as well. And here we could have been talking about, I always think of Australia, just because we see the two different, like complete northern versus southern hemisphere. Not that it has to be Australia and somewhere else, but we have different locations coming up in this. Now that's mostly because of the deck I'm using, but that's just some other side notes. I think he's realizing that some things in life you have to listen for guidance on, especially things that are like blowing your freaking mind. I don't think he's going to be taking like some huge hold of this and being like, okay, now that I've seen that there's something really special going on here, something so serendipitous, I know that she's somehow part of my life story, she's on my wavelength. I don't see him instantly leaping into, now let me go talk to her, now let me go send messages, now let me reach out. It feels like he's saying, I got to listen. I don't even know what I'm listening for. I only know that I think something else is supposed to come through for me. We have a Queen of Cups in the reverse. Okay, this is straight up karmic energy. This is like toxic femininity as well. This is where love becomes emotional manipulation. What does that mean? I don't believe for a minute that that's her. I'm wondering if there's some other, okay, so there is another energy that is standing in the way of this anyway. This is a divine union. We have the Two of Cups. We have the two flutes of champagne at a wedding ceremony. Someone stands between him and this. This is the feminine that he's realizing is like his other half. It's a good thing he's not reaching out to this feminine right now, because this is going to show back up where this still has to be dealt with. This is a problem. I don't know if this person, this ex, is going to be reemerging into his life. I don't know who she is. Oh God, she's definitely reemerging. We've got the Princess of Cups here. You notice they're jumping through the freaking portal. It's like just as he's having some weird, like awareness of, wow, this is super cosmic, this is amazing. It's like he's going to be tested though. And he needs to face down his karmic, and he's going to need to be able to pull the plug on this and stand up for himself, possibly against a toxic femininity, against somebody that maybe has always been able to pull his strings like a puppet. He cannot still be under somebody else's, puppeteering. And if she's about to pop back into his life, he needs to face this down, because otherwise he's going to blow it. He's having this crazy awareness that, oh my God, this other feminine is my person. And it says, but wait, if you try to start something with the feminine that you now are recognizing, there's something that's so hard to put your finger on, you can't quite understand what it is. It's going to require him to have a huge leap of faith, and he's got to be able to fully trust like his instincts and this like cosmic connection. If somebody else who's very good at emotionally manipulating him still has any tenterhooks in him, that could get his mind so skewed where he wouldn't be able to fully just trust this new connection and go for it. And the universe, thankfully, is saying, you're going to actually first have to face this. You need to shut this down, because she's going to come in, and she's going to come in great. She's going to come in loving. She's going to come in and bring you your favorite, whatever, beer in a frosty mug. And she's going to try to win you back and be your everything. And she is your freaking karmic, but she knows just how to get you back. And she's hopping through the vortex. She's about to be mixed into the mess. Oh no. Oh no. Do not even. Nine of Cups is upright. Nine of Cups is upright. This is somebody going deep down into this realm of like, oh, but this person makes me so happy. Do they love me? Do they have these deep feelings for me? This is still about the ex. The ex may come in and say all these wonderful things and try to convince him that, see, I make you happy too. I feel like this is a freaking siren. The sirens in mythology are the beautiful like lady mermaid thingies kind of that, sing their sweet songs and entrance the sailors and then have them run their ships aground. I feel like she embodies that energy. whomever she is, doesn't matter. She's dark haired here, she's blonde haired here, maybe even red haired. Maybe she changes her hair a lot. I could picture her being a bit of a chameleon because she's all about getting what she wants. All of this ultimately is about her happiness and nobody else's. And if you are an emotionally manipulative individual, you get off on even pulling people away just so you can win them back, not because you want them, but because you don't want them to actually love somebody else. You like to do that kind of stuff. I'm sorry we have a straight up villain in this, but we do. And this is what stands between him and this feminine that he's having all of these like swirling awareness that, oh my God, this is something really sacred. This is uncanny. But it still feels like the connection that he's realizing he has with the divine feminine that is his Two of Cups. It is still like blowing his mind right now. And it still feels very 5D, very cerebral and emotional, but not tangible yet. Meanwhile, we have got somebody coming into his life that is going to rock all of that and kind of like mess up the emotions. It's like, imagine if you had this clear running stream and it's like, oh my God, this is so beautiful. And then this person comes along and dumps a gallon of paint into the stream, and you got clumpy, nasty, foul waters all of a sudden. That's what this karmic is going to do. And he's got to face it. And you know what? She's going to make a mess of things. Is he going to have the power to put a stop to this? Will he see through this, or is he going to get derailed? Four of Wands. I don't know yet. This says, by Grathor's hammer, he better figure this out. This says he may need to pull all of the energy from the universe and focus his energy on not some karmic who's already played a bunch of games, who's already done emotional games with him. He's going to need to get himself aligned spiritually, physically. He's got to get his mind right, and he's got to figure out what he really wants. Do you want the strangely magical, energetic vibe that you have been awakening to, or do you want the karmic energy that plays games, but man, they play it well? I mean, we can't blame him if he gets off course, because this is somebody who they play well. They really play it well. They like a freaking violin. Okay, hang on. Four of Wands. We go back to the hieroglyphs. We have the Empress. I mean, if he marries the karmic, then I don't even know what this story was for, right? If he marries the karmic, now what I'm hoping is that he's able to instead, because he's had this head spinning awareness that there's this other feminine out there that for reasons unknown, there's something about her that connects to him. There's something so perfect and aligned that when this karmic shows back up, he's able to say, she doesn't have any of the symbolic, spiritual, crazy alignment from the cosmos that I have with this other feminine that I haven't even developed a connection to, but I already know there's something super special and supernatural about this. I believe I've met an Empress versus just dealing with another, a repeat cycle with a karmic who just likes winning at games. I'm hoping that that's the way this is going to go, but let me pull another card. Let me get one more. I'm thinking it is because that this is good that we can, by the way, there's a skull in the moon, which is a great, well, one of many, many great lyrics. The moon's a skull. I think it's grinning. It's in Human Sadness by The Voids. Oh my God, I love that song so much, but we can see it up here. What I was going to say is the reason I'm inclined to say that he is going to realize, like, I'm not touching that karmic with a 10-foot pole. I've met something spiritual is we have these obelisks that are in perfect alignment. We've gone back to the idea of the hieroglyphs. We have them written down here, which was associated with this like spiritual connection that he's trying to decode. This is, but this person I feel perfectly aligned with, even though I haven't even built a connection to them yet. And we've got the energy flowing upward, but we also have, again, kind of like voluptuous mountains here, which again, we talked about with that kind of like more spiritual connection. We've got the Two of Wands. It is sideways. This is his choice. Which choice do you make? Which partner do you want beside you? He knows that he's at a crossroads. He knows. He will know without a shadow of a doubt that there is this karmic who is going to show up right as he's recognized that probably, maybe this is why his head is spinning. I didn't even think about it this way. Maybe he's recognizing he's at a crossroads right now. Maybe this karmic has actually already reared her little vixen's head into his world. I mean, she's hopping through that spiral galaxy, and we already saw him with the chariot with the spiral galaxy. Is that why I've got the spinning going on? Is that why we have? Is he at the crossroads right now? It could be one of those bizarre moments where, as he's, like I said before, if this feminine like shows up, whatever, on his news feed, his social media, whatever, with that little circular icon of somebody's face, maybe at the same time he gets some message coming in from this karmic ex. I mean, things like that happen all the time. You just, when you're out on a date with a new person after like 8 months of not dating anybody and it's going well, and you look down at your phone and there's your ex texting, like they have this sixth sense that, let me see if I can mess this up for you. I swear, I feel like that is like the law of the universe, or how you can be in like an empty swimming pool and there's one person, in like a hot tub or something, and they casually toss a ball up in the air and it lands and it smacks you in the head, and you're like, okay, listen, I'm in an Olympic sized swimming pool. How the hell did you didn't aim it at me? How's it hitting me on the top of the head? It feels like it's going to be like that. Maybe that's why his head is spinning, because he's realizing this is a moment in my life. I have to choose which partner. I just recognized this is a spiritual connection that I can't even put into words, that hasn't even taken off yet, but I know she's important. And I'm hearing from an ex, same moment. They may as well be standing in front of me, and I'm being asked to say, I'm choosing her or her. I'm not saying he's like, oh, which one do I like better? I'm saying this is so unexpected, but this is a fork in the road in his life. If he responds to the ex, he's not going to end up with this Two of Cups. He's not going to be able to do that. This is a test from the universe. Can you do it or can you not? So I don't know if he can make that happen. Got the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles can be about juggling, not in this card. It's about, he needs to be like as clear as the rays of the sun, and be very direct. He needs to probably close a chapter in no uncertain terms with an ex, whether that means blocking, deleting, and then he needs to get his head on straight about, like, this is the person I'm choosing. I'm either going to lean fully into this mysterious supernatural connection that I feel with some feminine, that it's just clicked, that there's something here that I have to explore because I feel like I'm inextricably, connected to her, or I'm going to deal with the ex again. Which is it? This says he has to choose, and that's it. Straightforward. That Two of Pentacles is about bringing in balance as well. So I kind of feel like we're getting a peek at like his brain coming into a balanced energy. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. Just because you make a decision doesn't mean that there's not still a ton of work to be done. Work to be done in his own life before pursuing this other like fantastic connection, or work for him. It can be hard even to cut off somebody that we know is a karmic ex and say, I know that they're only here to mess me up again or mess with my heart again. I don't want it. I know I want to explore this other connection, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt to have to make that really concrete and really recognize what the ex actually is. Work just for himself, just on himself, is what this is looking like to me. I don't know if somebody has a red rug or something like that in their house, or somebody's going to like redecorate, but I feel like this masculine needs some splashes of color, right? We need some yellows, we need some reds in this otherwise very dark, bleak backgrounds. And I kind of feel like, obviously, I think our Empress energy, this Two of Cups feminine, is a splash of light in his world. So I guess my only question here then is, so what happens? Queen of Pentacles. This is all about growth. It's about stability. It's about taking the path and staying on it. We can look back, and if you think back to the moon card that we had, where we had, whatever I was saying, it seems like the other sides of an ocean, unless it's like, and I was saying, I don't know, should I have said the Nile River or some river? We can see this winding path, and it's, if you look closely, here it is again, right? Only now we're not seeing it with two wolves on either side howling for each other. Now it's like he's on the path that leads directly into her village. She may live in a more rural area, a more like just a smaller environment where it's like, or she might be really close with certain like people in the area that she lives in. So it feels kind of like a giant family, but really it's like a small town. All I can say is that this is him confidently choosing to move toward her. I believe in this storyline, it is saying after this test that he faces, or if he's in the middle of this test right now, my impression is that he's choosing the path that will lead him toward her confidently. I want to go back to this card for just a second, that Four of Wands with the obelisks. Can I see anything else, any other message about that? Because, we can see that the universe is playing a role. Hang on, wrong deck. That just feels wrong. We can see that the universe is, like transmitting, sending, receiving. Ten of Cups. It's kind of like, remember, this is the card that came after us looking at the cards of, him being kind of tested or tempted, we could even say, by that karmic. It almost feels like he's getting a flash of like awareness that what he really wants, the kind of happiness that he really wants, is something that would truly be emotionally fulfilling, which means somebody who gives equally, not a karmic who comes in and gives when they want something and they manipulate to get their own Nine of Cups. Here's the thing. I think this is very like eye-opening for him in this moment. If he realizes something just very simple, he may not even be able to identify this as an emotionally manipulative karmic, but what he might realize is, what I know about the person is it'll always be about their happiness, them getting the most. It's not ever about whether or not they're thinking of me and am I happy. Where the hell did that card go? Where did I identify? There it is. Sorry, I was like, what did I do? How did I lose the Ten of Cups? Here's the single most distinguishing feature between, and this could be like that moment of like clarity that pops into his head when he looks at or gets this message from a karmic, and he may recognize something so important, which is, if I go with this karmic, it will always be, my life will be spent making sure that they get all that they want, because they're always out for number one. It's always Nine of Cups. It's always them, them, them. If I go with a romantic partner that I feel is already on my wavelength, that I haven't even been able to build a connection to, but I sense some weird otherworldly connection to, that person is already sharing more of my thoughts or sharing a kindred spirit with me. That person, I'd give 50%, they'd give 50%. That's not what I'll ever have with a karmic. And that could be the single distinguishing thing is, do I want to spend my life making somebody else happy at the expense of myself? Or do I actually want to share happiness with another person? I think that's a pretty good like flash of, what either goes through their mind. Because this kind of feels like the universe is doing their best to say, listen, we are sending these messages to this skull of yours and decoding it in the simplest way possible. A karmic is always about number one. Do you really want a karmic or do you want a partner? And that simplifies everything. That might be the best way to break it down for this divine masculine. Even if it takes a little bit longer to build, because we do have the snail here, but even if it takes a little bit longer for him to build this connection with his Two of Cups, better that than getting wrapped back into something with a karmic. That's what I would say on this. A lot of stuff about Egypt. I don't know if somebody likes like Egyptology or is intrigued by things like that, history, ancient history. That definitely could be him. I mean, we got an awful lot of Egypt coming up through this, but also some pretty significant celestial, like global and interstellar messages as well. All of this to me keeps speaking of this connection is so big between him and this Two of Cups that it kind of, it goes beyond boundaries and borders. Let's just leave it like that. All right, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. All right, we will go over to the other channel, and I've got to get some zodiacs done. We have a single storyline and all kinds of stuff to do over on my other channel on Kate's Regretless Life. So I will see some of you guys there. Hey, Nabila, don't think I forgot Scorpio, love. You're slated for tonight. You better believe it. I don't forget you. Hey, Calmsy, thank you, love. Kristen Alphabet, shout out to you, my dear. How are you? Hi, Stevette. Travis Rhodes is in the house. Awesome. I agree, Calmsy. Splashes of color helps everything. Oh, Black Butterfly 25, so wonderful to see you. RS, hey, yeah. Aries was very talkative tonight, wasn't he? I'm so sorry about that earlier, you guys. Rachel's Magic, T-Baby. How are you tonight? Holly Light, great to catch you. Hi, Heather. Black Moon Majesty, good to see you. Delinda, awesome to see you. Thank you so much for reminding me. Thank you. You guys, thanks so much for giving it a thumbs up. That means the world to me. Oh my gosh, I didn't know there were so many in the room tonight. 302 of you guys. Thank you. Thank you for the 119 who gave it a thumbs up. And thanks to everybody who's hanging, regardless. I appreciate it. But Delinda, thank you so much for reminding me to mention that. It really does help the channel. So thanks, guys. Misty Barrett. Hi, love. AC, I enjoyed this one too. Yeah. I don't feel dizzy anymore either, but that was weird. Ongoing Awakening. You guys are so awesome. Thank you. Voyager. Jasmine Angel. I'm so glad you're here. Great to catch up with you also, love. You're so sweet, Misty. I don't know if I'm the best doggy mom. I'm probably too indulgent, to be honest. I'm sure I could probably be a little bit better leader for my doggy, but he is a nice boy. He's a really sweet boy. Lavender Moon, good to see you. Skylar Cole, hey. Nice, Skylar. Thank you. I'm so honored that you want to see some videos. That's awesome. April O'Neil, yes, love. Thank you. Is the water in the, what is the BG moving for anyone else? Mudzy Moic, in the BG, is the water in the BG moving for anyone else? I don't know, but now you've got me all intrigued. Victoria Knox and Zoe, awesome to see you. Danae Mountain Dreamer, hi, sweetheart. Inner Whispers, thank you. You're so sweet. It is my pleasure. Trust me. I love it. Broken B for Bliss. Nora A, thank you. Really good, sweetie. I hope you are also. Eduardo, thank you for hanging. All right, you guys. I will see you over on the other channel. Thanks again. Sweet dreams, Delinda. All right, guys. Take care. I'll see you later. Bye.